Welcome to Idiot Teaches Idiot, how to use Task Force Arrowhead Radio. My name is Chris, and along this journey I'll teach you how to use the ArmA 3 mod known as TFAR. Please keep in mind that this video was made with the group Fantactical in mind, so if there's any information omitted or functions not used as intended, it was most likely on purpose. First, the things that you will need in order for this mod to work is TeamSpeak 3, ArmA 3 with no DLC required, Task Force Radio, which you can find on the Steam Workshop or in the link down below, and the TeamSpeak TFAR plugin, which I will also provide below. So, what is TFAR? TFAR is a mod within ArmA 3 that allows users to communicate through TeamSpeak 3 and talk in a realistic environment. This gives the player and his cohorts the ability to have realistic conversations. You can stand really close to each other and have an intimate conversation. Or you can stand really far away and yell indiscernible things. All sound communicated is just like how it is in real life. The closer or farther you are, the easier or harder it is to hear you. This mod also allows the ability to use radios and communicate over long distances. Go to the Steam Workshop for ArmA 3. Subscribe to task_force_radio in the Steam Workshop. The link is down below. Then within that page, there is an additional download required for TeamSpeak. This link goes directly to the official TFAR website. To install the TeamSpeak plugin, double-click on the plugin and it will install. Be sure that your plugin's installation path routes to your TeamSpeak 3 client. To install the TeamSpeak plugin, double-click on what you downloaded. An interface will pop up. Be sure that your plugin's installation path routes to your TeamSpeak 3 client, then continue. Once you've installed the plugin, open up your TeamSpeak. At the top, click on Settings, then Plugins. Tick the box next to Task Force ArmA 3 Radio. That will turn on the plugin via TeamSpeak. Be sure to load the mod via the ArmA 3 launcher before you start playing with it. Open the launcher, go to the mods, and tick the box to fully load the mod. Now whenever you fully get into game, your TFAR should be activated. So TFAR allows you to communicate with your teammates in a realistic environment, but how do you do that? Let's start with the basics. You're able to change the volume of your voice. You can do so by pressing Ctrl and Tab. This will cycle through 3 volumes of voice: whispering, normal, and yelling. So switch it up depending on your tactical situation. As I said before, this mod allows you to communicate through radios. For the purpose of this video, we're only going to be using 2 types of radios, the AN/PRC-152 and the RT-1523G. Every faction has their own variation of radios, but they all more or less have the same functionality. Let's start with the 152. This radio is meant for medium to short range transmission, so let's configure the radio so we can communicate with others. To open and edit the radio, press Ctrl and P. A 2D image of the 152 will appear on your screen. For Fantactical, we traditionally don't change the channel on the left-hand side of the screen, but we do change the frequency. If we want to change the frequency to frequency 31, then we would highlight the frequency with our mouse cursor and manually type in 31. To save our changes, we go to the bottom right-hand side of the radio and press Set Frequency. Hit Escape to exit out of the 2D image. To begin talking with others, hold down the caps lock key and release when you are done speaking. There should be a gray box that appears in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen that shows that you are transmitting in green, along with what frequency you are transmitting on. When you are done transmitting, it will say transmitted in orange. The long-range radio, or the backpack radio, is essentially the same. It can transmit over larger distances, but the functionality is similar. To open the long range, press Alt and P. You can change and set your frequency just like the 152. Highlight, type, and press Set Frequency. Hit Escape, then to transmit, hold down Control and Caps Lock. TFAR allows you to customize how to use your radio, which is really cool in case you need to use more than one radio at once. If you want to hear one radio only through one ear, you could do so by pressing Ctrl and any of the arrow keys to change your shortwave radio mode. To change your long-range radio mode, press Alt and any of the arrow keys. For example, I find this helpful to keep my fireteam radio in my left ear and my platoon radio, or my backpack radio, in my right ear. If you find that the radios are too loud by default, you can adjust the volume of your radio by going back into the 2D interface. Press Ctrl P and go to the top of the radio where there's a little knob where you can adjust the volume. You can do so by left-clicking or right-clicking. If, for whatever reason, you need to change any hotkeys, you can do so by pressing Escape and going to the menu. Go to Settings, Controls, and at the bottom right-hand side, Configure Add-ons, then use the drop-down menu to go to TFAR. For the most part, that's how to use the essential functions of Task Force Arrowhead Radio. In the description also lies a link to their main website highlighting other functions of this mod, but as long as you can do what I listed above, you should be able to properly navigate through the battlefield. Thanks for watching.